when the October 7th attacks happened, Israel was a very much divided society over the government's judicial overhaul. Far-right coalition partners of Benjamin Netanyahu with their eye on more land inside of the West Bank. The attack itself caught everyone by surprise. Now, one of those who, over the years, has probed those divisions in his movies is acclaimed director Amos Gitai. Thanks for joining us here on France 24. Do you remember your October 7th?
I think we all remember it, and we will never forget it. It's a collective shock. And I think, unfortunately, these kind of shocks nourish the ongoing Middle East situation. I actually just opened at that time a big exhibition about the Yom Kippur War, which was, as you know, 50 years earlier in October.
A war in which you fought.
A war where I was a soldier, actually. And we opened a big exhibition in Tel Aviv Museum, thinking that maybe that will teach the lessons 50 years later, but then the October 7 proven that history has been retold and retold again.
And just a few weeks after October 7th, the U.S. president arrives in Israel. He gives this warning, look what we did in Afghanistan. We overreached in our response, and we paid for it. Paraphrasing a bit what Joe Biden said at the time. That advice was not heeded, though.
I mean, actually, before speaking about the political level, because with all due respect, I think that the October 7 and the butchers who killed peace-loving kibbutzniks, who actually crossed the border to save sometimes children in Gaza, bring them to hospitals, this has resonance until today. Actually, it has an impact on the political kind of blockage in Israel, where you have actually, as you mentioned in your introduction, it's a divided society between people who have a vision who want it to be liberal, rights of speech, dialogue, maybe trying to solve in a peaceful way the Middle East, and others. And I think the fact that people like Vivian Silver, who is a woman who spent her life trying to save children in Gaza, was found burned in her home in the kibbutz, and my friend Oded Lifshitz was kidnapped with his wife. She came back, but he was butchered, and just his body came. This is a big resonance to everything which will happen from now on. So this event, beyond what you mentioned, the political thing, the President Macron, the Americans, and so on, this is still a big weight, even the day we're speaking.
And to your friends who've worked for striving for peace, do they make that distinction today like they did before between radicals and ordinary Palestinians?
I think we have to. We have to. I think that the project which started with Rabin 30 years ago, this month we are marking 30 years for the killing of Rabin. This is a story which should be told. It means that we have to strive to find a new modus vivendi, a pacific one between us and the Palestinians. I think the speciality of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, it's different than any other Middle Eastern conflict. Israel-Iran, I consider Iran don't have any reason or any pretext to attack Israel to ask for its destruction. So if Israel attacks back, it's part of the necessary response. The same with Hezbollah. There is no territorial conflict with Lebanon. But the Palestinians, it's also their country, and we have to find a peaceful way to change, to shape a new future for the Middle East.
There was the Oslo Accords. It came to naught. Is it possible to do what you're describing?
It's not possible. It's obligatory. What is the alternative? The alternative is destruction, death. We have seen that terrible destruction of Gaza, which is shocking. And we have to find ways to live together. We have to find modus vivendi to live together. We have to think also about the suffering of the other. At this point, one of the things which blocking any advance is that each group is consumed by its own suffering. And each group has to look at about the suffering of the other. We, the Israelis, have to be aware of what is happening in Gaza, and the Palestinians have to be aware of the impact of this brutality of the rape and the brutality of the Hamas of October 7, exactly 2 years ago.
Is it possible to make that happen while there's still fighting going on?
It's obligatory. I mean, You know, years ago, in 1982, I went to interview the mayor of Nablus, the Palestinian mayor of Nablus, Bassam Shakaa, who was himself a subject to attentat by Israeli radicals. And I asked him, are you optimistic or pessimistic? And I loved his answer. He said to me, Amos, we cannot afford to be pessimistic. It's a luxury. When we look at it from outside, you can say, okay, let's say it will never be resolved. Then what is the option? If Israel want to stay in this region, and I would love it to stay because I love my country, I think we have to find inroad and to find peace agreements.
Over the last 2 years in this studio, we've had guests who've said to us, look, you can't project how people will take the Palestinian, the two-state solution more seriously until the fighting stops. It's too difficult to project that right now because everybody, like you say, is consumed by their own suffering. Is it too early, though, to start thinking about it and start talking about it aloud?
Not at all. I think it's very good. It's very good that the Europeans, the Americans, others try to help. You know, sometimes I compare it to when you see scenes of domestic violence. Let's say your neighbor, you hear a noise that there is some violence. You have to knock on the door and try to help the people and stop it. So we need the intervention of the world to help us to pacify this conflict. We need it. It's necessary and it is welcome. About what is the exact political solutions, I don't wish the politicians to be unemployed. They have not been so successful. Let them try again. You know.
You have a new movie, by the way, on the editing board right now. What?
We're going to show in Tokyo International. We just had the great news that we are selected to the big competition in Tokyo. And so from here, I'm flying to Tel Aviv. We'll do a big performance, a memorial to Rabin on the very day of his killing, the 1st of November, Shabbat, Saturday, in the big hall, the Philharmonie. It's something that we did already in Paris, in the Philharmonie of Paris with Barbara Hendricks and others. And now we'll do it in Israel, in Hebrew. And then from there on, I'll fly straight to Tokyo to show Golem in Pompeii, and we're very happy and proud, all the group, that we're going to show it.
Well, that assassination of Yitzhak Rabin 30 years ago, as you say, and it is something that you've revisited, this division within Israeli society. The movie that made you a household name, if you will, here in France is Kadosh from 1999, about people in a conservative Orthodox community trying to break out of that mold. That was 1999. It's still relevant today. Is it still the exact same divisions, or have those divisions changed?
No, sometimes they've become worse, but I think that cinema is a way to, you know, the best honor I consider that an artist can make to his culture is to be critical, because you want it to be better. We have too many objects of a bit kitsch, flowery, and so we have also to speak the truth to our people because we love them. And Kadosh, Kippur, Free Zone, I mean, all these many films which are shown in Cannes and Venice and Berlin, New York, and so on, are a way of me to say culture have to create a dialogue and to remind people that the work we did around the story of the killing of Rabin is actually sometimes also in France with the Bibliothèque Nationale. And soon we will do also a performance in Paris. I saw the mayor of Paris, and she wishes us to do it. It's really to remind people that history is also, it's not only advancing by machine guns or money, but also by ideas. We have to speak about ideas. That's where culture comes in.
Okay, so let's play your game here. Let's leave the politicians out of it. How do you see the relationship evolving between those who are secular, those who attended the Supernova Festival, those who are ultra-Orthodox religious, who don't serve in the military actually right now, those who are hawks? How's that mix going to evolve now?
I think it's a mosaic of all the people you mentioned and more. Also, we have Arab citizens that I think are important. There are as many as religious, so people tend to forget them. I think it's very important that they have equal rights, that they share all the good thing of the Israeli society, social security, and they keep their identity and their language, and that we have Hebrew and Arabic as languages. So I think that it will be always an inside debate, like you have here in France. I mean, I'm sure that your news is full of the extreme right-wing climbing, and then the extreme left answering, and then the center. So I think that this is the nature of modern societies, which are, I think we are in an age of composite societies. People have been displaced all over the planet, just not just the Middle East. Refugees, wars, urbanization, economic megalopolis. So they've been displaced and they have to find new identities. And I would rather that they will find a peaceful identity.
Okay, let's hope that we're going to be talking about it later in the France 24, how this composite identities coexist. I want to thank you so much, Amos Gitai, for being with us here on France 24. Stay with us. There's much more to come, including the day's business and sports.